Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to do the unboxing of the MacBook Air 2020 M1 edition. And yeah, I know guys, I did a video a few months back unboxing the MacBook Air 2020 Intel edition, which, you know, Apple has been using in their MacBooks since 2006. And in that video, I said that you don't have to wait for the M1 to come out because it's not like Apple will stop supporting the Intel MacBooks overnight. And while that's true, and I still believe that, when Apple announced the M1, they kind of surprised a lot of people, I believe, including skeptics like me. Like, we just didn't think that Apple could come out with a processor that could be so good on their first attempt, right? But the M1 apparently, and I read all the reviews, I watched the review videos of other YouTubers, it's quite a substantial boost from the Intel Core chips, and I guess it's surprising. It surprised a lot of skeptics like me. I'm not an Apple fan, right? A lot of non-Apple fans like myself were skeptics of Apple's claims. And while it's not going to be like the world's fastest, laptop CPU or anything like that, I do think that it's going to be the fastest low-power laptop CPU, right? Because you got to understand, the M1 is competing with like the Core M processors, right? Like these really low wattage 7-watt processors. They're not competing with the 40-watt CPUs that gaming laptops are using. They're not competing with the Asus, with the Alienware, the MSIs, right? They're not with the Razer Blades. They're not competing with those kind of laptops or those kind of CPUs. But they are competing with the low-power CPUs. They're competing with the ultra-low voltage Core M type CPUs, and I do think that Apple is putting up a pretty good fight there, right? Because they're looking at like benchmarks compared to the previous generation Core processors, right? It seems that in benchmarks, even the lowly MacBook Air, which is supposed to be the lowest of Apple's laptop line, right? The cheapest and the lowest spec of Apple's product line for laptops, even this laptop, the M1 edition, is beating out the previous Core editions, or at least on par with the previous Core editions of their 16-inch MacBook Pros. And that's really surprising, right? Considering that the MacBook Air doesn't even have a fan. So that's really surprising to me, and that's why I decided to get it. I just wanted to see it for myself, just how fast is this baby, right? So apparently the MacBook Air, the M1 edition, can compete with the previous 2019 16-inch MacBook Pros. So yeah, and also I do think that the MacBook Air is a pretty good deal relative to what Apple products usually are. And I did get the base configuration. So this is the 256 gig SSD, 8 gigs of RAM, and the M1 processor, of course. What's kind of unique about Apple's lineup this year, though, is that they have the M1 processor in all their models. So there's not really that much difference between the MacBook Pro, the Mac Mini, and the MacBook Air, except that the MacBook Pro has fans, which means that it could sustain the higher temperatures for longer, which means that it will be faster. But the processor is still the same. So it's not like you're getting it's not like previous MacBooks, it's not like other computers actually, where you configure something to a much higher processor like a Core i5 versus Core i7. It's not like that here. You just get the M1 on all the different computers, which means that for MacBook Air, this is actually relatively good value because you're paying $1,000 for the same processor that's in the MacBook Pro. And I think even the MacBook Mini is actually pretty good value as well, because you're getting essentially the same performance as the MacBook Pro, except that you're paying a lot less, right? But of course, it doesn't come with a display. But if you're mostly at home anyways, which most of us are actually this year, then I think the Mac Mini is actually a pretty good deal. Anyways, I'm going to do the unboxing of the M1 MacBook Air, and I don't think it should be too different from what's in the previous generation MacBook Air, since I just did an unboxing of a MacBook Air a few months ago. Alright, so, I mean, exterior-wise, it looks exactly the same, right? And it should be. I've got the space gray version, of course. It's available in the same colors. But yeah, exterior-wise, looks pretty much exactly the same here. And then, yeah, I mean, oh, and it opens up, of course, as soon as and of course the keyboard, this is one of the main reasons why I went for the MacBook. Actually, this is one of the main reasons in my video I said why I upgraded to the new MacBook Airs is because of the scissor switch keyboard. So the return of the scissor switch keyboard, and of course this is running the new macOS operating system Big Sur, which is supposed to work really well with the M1 chip.
Use English as the main language. Press the return key.
Yes, I know. Thanks, Siri. Yes, so this is supposed to be very optimized for the M1 chip, so I'm interested to see how iMovie and Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro X, all those applications, how they perform on the MacBook Air M1. So yeah, that's part of the reason why I got it, and also just because, yeah, I mean, apparently, according to my friends who already got the MacBook M1, they said that Rosetta 2 performs really well, and there's been no slowdowns that they've experienced. So if that's true, then that means that this is just a better upgrade over the old MacBook Airs, right? Over the, I guess, previous 2020 MacBook Airs. So originally I bought the previous 2020 MacBook Airs, right? Because I didn't think that the M1 would be such a huge upgrade and such a huge leap. And I didn't think that Rosetta 2 would perform so well. But Apple has proven me and a lot of other skeptics wrong. And the M1 turned out to be a lot faster than we expected. And Rosetta 2 turned out to be working a lot better than we expected. I think this is the beginning of a new generation here. And I do recommend buying the new MacBook Air and the new MacBooks, right? Because the M1 processor supposedly is a lot faster. And it has all the benefits of the other MacBooks that were released this year, like the scissor switch mechanism of the keyboard, right? That was the main reason why I upgraded originally to the Intel MacBook Air. But yeah, the keyboard feels very good. You know, get the same trackpad. Everything else is exactly the same. The ports are the same, right? You get two USB-C ports on the side and one headphone jack, and that's it. And same weight, right? About 2.8 pounds-ish. So yeah, you basically get the same MacBook Air, right, as the previous generation 2020 MacBook Air. I know it's kind of confusing because there's two MacBook Airs released this year, but it's the same exterior-wise. You know, it's the same keyboard, same weight, same look, dimensions, ports, everything. But you're getting a much faster processor inside, right, which is much more optimized for Apple apps especially, so like Mac OS apps, right? And then of course in the box you just get the standard USB-C charging cable and this manual here, which I don't even know why. I mean, it's nice to have, but I doubt people even read this. It's just basically the warranty, I guess. And then the charging brick, and then that's it, right? Pretty simple. It comes inside the box, but all the upgrades are on the internal, baby. So I'm definitely going to test this out with some Apple, or I'm definitely going to test this out with some Mac OS applications, especially iMovie, since I do most of my video rendering in there. And iMovie is actually what I use to render most of my YouTube videos. So yeah, I'm going to test it out, and yeah, that's basically it. This is the MacBook Air M1 released in late 2020, and I'm excited to see what this baby can do and how much faster it is than the previous generation. Alright guys, so now I have iMovie open on the MacBook Air M1, and I'm going to export a part of this video that you're seeing right now. This is... Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're going to do the unboxing of the MacBook Air 2020 M1 edition. And yeah, so that's this video that you're seeing right now. I'm going to export it, and I'm going to see how long it takes, how much faster it takes. So I'm going to do 1080p, quality high, compressed faster. That's what I usually do. Name this like sample 1 or something. And yeah, see how fast it takes with the new M1 processor. And let's see, it's going to be about a minute, which is actually quite fast, right? So this is pretty impressive considering that this is a MacBook Air, right? So this is the lowest end MacBook, and this is a short 5-minute clip of this video. And if you can export it all in a minute or less, that's pretty good. I would say, according to the benchmarks I've seen, this MacBook Air M1 runs about as fast as a previous generation, that's Intel, MacBook Pro 16-inch, which is quite impressive, right? The fact that this MacBook, you know, that's completely fanless, right? Completely fanless and low power, runs as good as a top-end MacBook Pro from the previous generation, like using a Core i7 and everything. So that's pretty impressive. So yeah, you can see how long it took. It took less than a minute, right? Already exported. So yeah, that's really impressive, actually. So I have to say that the MacBook Air M1 is actually quite a big upgrade, and from what I've seen from the benchmarks, it is about as fast as a high-end MacBook Pro from the Intel generation, and that's, you know, that is quite impressive indeed. So yeah, I just want to show you guys some real world results. We just exported a movie in real time and we saw how long that took, right? Less than a minute. So that's pretty impressive. Anyways, guys, that's the MacBook Air M1, and like I said, if you're looking for a new MacBook right now, this is a no-brainer pickup because first of all, it contains all the improvements of the MacBook Air 2020, which is having the scissor switch keyboard and, you know, instead of the butterfly keyboard, which everyone disliked, and the Touch ID fingerprint sensor. You get that as well, of course. But in addition to that, you get a more future-proof processor, right? So if you buy an Intel Mac, well, Apple's still going to support that. Like I said, I don't think that they're going to just drop support for Intel Macs, but you get a computer which can run all your x86 applications, right, through Rosetta 2, apparently without much side effect at all. They all run it pretty well, apparently, the Rosetta 2. Better than even Windows, right? A lot of Microsoft's efforts at running ARM processors like the Windows RT, remember that? They pretty much failed, and they couldn't get x86 applications to run well, but Apple has managed to do that with Rosetta 2, so that's pretty impressive. So you don't lose out on anything there. Plus you get performance benefits. This is approximately, the MacBook Air is approximately as fast as the MacBook Pros from the previous generation running on Core i7s, so that's pretty impressive, right? And it's running on only 7 watt TDP, right? Very, very low power, fanless as well, and you get good battery life as well. So in my estimates, like, Jesus, I haven't charged this for a while, still 100% battery, right? And I haven't really, I haven't charged this, I don't know, since last night, and still 100% battery. So that's pretty good. And Apple's saying that you get 20 hours of battery life out of this, which is really, really good, right? We haven't seen that much battery life. I haven't seen that much battery life since the days of the ThinkPad with the power bridge, right? Where you can, and those laptops actually had 2 batteries inside of it because of the power bridge, right? The fact that Apple's able to get this kind of efficiency out of a computer without having an external battery or anything like that, or an extended battery, is really impressive, right? And they fit it in this roughly the same amount of space, same weight. So that is really impressive indeed. So anyways, guys, that's the MacBook Air M1. I think it's a really good pickup if you're looking for a new MacBook. Just better performance all around, cheaper price. Actually, it's about $1,000, but you get 256 gigs instead of 128. So it's actually an upgrade in value as well. And better performance improvements, more future-proof. You get the same benefits, better battery life, everything. So anyways, guys, I highly recommend this pickup. I don't usually say that about Apple products because most Apple products I think are overpriced. But for this one, I think it's actually just like the iPhone 12 mini. I think the iPhone 12 mini, the iPad Air, and the MacBook Air are probably the best value pickups out of the Apple lineup if you're looking to pick up one of those, one of these devices. So that's it, guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions about this computer or just anything about MacBooks in general or other products. So let me know. And as always, thanks for watching.